My man.
What up? What up? What up?
Another amazing day to be alive and clean. What's going on, everybody who's going to watch the reruns, man, while we're letting the room fill up? Thank you guys for tuning in. If you couldn't be there for the live feed, man, we appreciate you guys jumping on at a later date and rocking out with us, man. We appreciate all the love and support from everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Crystal Alvarado, good to see you. Catherine Lance, love you. Debbie Sawyer, good to see you. As my brother just said, if you watch the replay later, you can't watch it live. We support you no matter what time you guys decide to tune in. Derek and I we're just trying to come out here each and every Tuesday and Thursday to try to carry a message of hope and inspiration to all you people who are out there struggling today, who might need to hear a message of hope, a message of inspiration. And when you come over here and you deal with Derek and I, you're going to get a whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. I could sing for him if you want me to, Derek. I'm not a very good singer, though.
I'm not either, but I enjoy singing.
I do, too. I sing in the shower. I'm like an Oscar award winner in the shower. I swear I am. Renee Cooper, good to see you on here as well. Hey, Allison France, Melissa Bryant, Tanya Cuddy, good to see you. Elizabeth Ann.
What's going on, everybody? How are all you beautiful, amazing people doing? Sorry, I'm just getting some of this stuff shared out.
Who's that? Anthony, Tony, Greggs, good evening. Amanda Carmody, good to see you on here as well, sister. Sarah Lake, Dawn Erickson, Brittany Boudreau, good to see you on here. Love you. Joni Lay, good to see you. Steph Kemp, family showing out tonight, brother.
That's amazing, man. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody's day going, man? Like, how you guys living? What's going on? Is there anything new going on? Any breakthroughs with your recovery? Please shoot it up in the comments, man. If you guys could, let's get the hope shots flowing. Throw the clean dates up, man. And there might be somebody out there struggling, man, that needs a little hope. And I think it's important for us to to share, man. Clean dates are really important to me, man. Especially my own is very special to me, guys. That's the day I started living and stopped surviving. So if we could, man, throw them clean dates up in the air.
That's right.
It's important to be proud, man. Be proud of them clean dates. So if you guys could, let's get them fired up, man. Let's get them hope shots flowing. And I hope everybody, it's Tuesday, man. We're starting the week. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Life's great. Left a very bad situation and returned to a sober living, still sober. Drew, I don't know if you can.
I seen it.
Dawn Erickson.
You want me to pin it?
Yeah, for a second.
Okay.
And you know what? That's gonna kind of like roll into the That is gonna roll into the topic. And Dawn, I'm glad you're tuning in tonight, man. And you know what? The topic is it's got to get worse before it gets better. And we're going to roll into that topic here in a couple minutes, man. I just love being able to engage with you guys, man. And, get the spirit flowing and, really just feeling this thing, man. Joseph, what's going on, my guy? Cody Smith, Joni. And you know what, guys? It's really hard, man. The comments, they fly in. So, if at some point, man, when we start, checking out comments, if we don't get to you, man, it's not personal.
No,
it's not that easy.
Never personal. Never personal. Joseph, little brother, I love you. Good to see you on here as well. Hey, Kara Hoffman, I love you. Jennifer Wheeler, sis, what's going on? I love you. Let's see a couple more. Jennifer Hillier, nice to see you on here tonight. Samantha Lynn, I love you. Good to see you on here as well. Amanda Cruz, nice to see you on here. I love you. Tracy Callahan, Mary Mayer. Oh, man, they're showing up tonight, brother.
You know what? Sarah Jane McFall, 364 days for me today. one more day. Hang on until midnight, baby, and you got that 1 year clean, man.
Amen to that.
Congratulations.
That first year is a milestone, brother. That first year is a milestone. Be proud of that one.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? It's an honor. It's an honor, you know, for to be able to participate with you in the countdown for your first year clean. Pam Villasenor, July 25th, 2013.
That's
We got
Pam.
the clean date 1 year later. Mine is July 25th, 2014. Congratulations, everybody, man, with the clean time. And thank you guys for checking in. And if you're just tuning in, again, feel free to shoot them clean dates up in the comments, man. And if you guys could for us, man, smash that heart button. Share the love, man, to any groups or people that you think you know would benefit from the topic tonight, man. If you guys could help us get it out, it's greatly appreciated, man.
I got a couple announcements.
Go ahead.
Announcements before we get started, brother. You know, first we talked about. I'll come back to the cup, but I will be in the area of Colorado, guys, on Friday. I fly down Friday. I speak on Saturday. If you are in the Trinidad, Colorado area, please, you want to know exactly the details, please message me. I would love to get them the address to you guys. So if you want to come out and see me in person speaking in Trinidad, Colorado, Saturday, this coming Saturday, I fly down there on Friday. I'm excited to go down there and carry a message of hope to all those beautiful people in that area. I know there's quite a few people who follow me who are going to be showing up. Dave Wheeler, my boy Dave Wheeler called me today. Said he's going to drive down 4 hours and check it out and you know, fellowship with me. Probably go out to dinner that night. You know, just to be able to live life on life's terms. You know, clean and sober fun. You know, and so I look forward to seeing you, Dave, showing up, and any and all who decide to show up Saturday to hear me speak. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Like I said, Derek speaks as well, you know. So you know what I mean, brother, when I say it's the reaction from the crowd, you know, that's the reward that what it gives anybody who does speak. Mm-hmm. Also, we are in the mix because I got a gift for Christmas and I decided to roll out with this gift right here, guys. This cup, this clean and sober. That's what's up. Derek and I are probably gonna put this up on them. Derek, you want to go ahead and chime in here anytime?
Yeah. So basically, guys, we're gonna be coming out with some things, man. Some clean and sober. That's what's up. Different things, man. It's gonna be some different stuff. It's still a lot of things are still in the works. But if you guys think you would be interested in some of that stuff, man, we'd love to get your
feedback.
Input and you know your feedback on what you guys think, man. And yeah, so we just wanted to throw it out there and kind of let you know that it's gonna be coming soon for sure. So if you guys have any feedback, anything you guys would like to see, if you guys have any creative ideas, feel free to throw that out there. So
absolutely.
You know, we appreciate all you guys, man. And you know, on a deeper level than just you guys showing up, you know, we appreciate you guys allowing us to be a part of your recovery. We appreciate you guys being a part of ours. And with everything that we do, man, like, you know, it's just amazing that we get to come on and share this gift of recovery with each other, this gift of life. And, you know, you guys are family to us. You know, we get to come on and see you guys and do all that we get to do, man. And I just want you guys to know it's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys again for shooting the clean dates, for smashing the heart button, for sharing the love out, man. Like, we really, really, really appreciate all of that, man, because you know what? There's a lot of people dying out here, man. And if there's any way that we can impact the recovery community, that's what we're trying to do, man. It's real important to us.
You know, just carrying a message, brother. You know, we're carrying it with love. You know, we don't. Ain't nothing grimy about it. It's just real life people with real life situations, and just, you know, trying to give people what it is that they want. You know, I've already seen the feed here. I want a cup. I want a cup. Yeah, guys, we're gonna be following through with the cups. You know, because isn't it amazing when we come into recovery, we all start drinking coffee. I wasn't a coffee drinker really until I came into recovery. I remember drinking a little bit in my active addiction, but I started drinking coffee like a crazy man when I came into recovery, and it has not stopped since. So makes sense to me to put my my own brand on a coffee mug and provide you guys with the opportunity to purchase it. So
We got somebody here, Drew Scotty Kennedy, 365 today for me.
amen, Scotty.
Congratulations, brother. That's amazing. 1 whole year clean, man. Like that is absolutely incredible, brother. Like congratulations, man.
Scotty,
You-
congratulations, brother. Like Derek said, that's huge. You get a full calendar, one complete calendar. I told Derek, like I said earlier, that's a milestone, because I remember my first year was brutal, just to get to be able to. And I don't know about you, Derek, but leading up to that 1 year, I was anxious. I was thinking about it for like 10 months. I started thinking about that 1 year, hitting that 1 year, and to finally get to that day, Scotty, man, that's an accomplishment. You should be something to be proud of, most definitely.
Absolutely. And the thing about clean time is, man, and it's really important for me is to not just count time, but to make time count, man. Like it's really important for me to do the work, to get to that clean time. My story is I got to stay busy in the 12-step program that I work in order to get that clean time. So, a little bit about my story, man, like is that this isn't my first time trying to get clean. And I always focused on those little milestones, but I was never willing to do the work that it took to get to them, right?
Right.
And something that I just always encourage is to celebrate every day clean, man. Celebrate every day clean. And I've seen a lot of people celebrate by using once they hit those milestones.
I have too. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's something to really, really, really be careful of, man. And just I always just throw that out there, but man, what an accomplishment, man. Like, I don't know about you guys, but for us to get hours clean is miracle, man. Like that's a miracle.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Wow. So, brother, we're now at the topic at hand. Okay?
We are here. And
we are here.
We had a comment earlier that, leaving a toxic relationship. And you know what, guys? Like, honestly, like the first really toxic relationship I had to leave was with drugs, man. With drugs, with alcohol. And, there was a grieving process when I left the drugs. That was my comfort. That was, that was my comfort. That was my security blanket. That's what filled the void for me for so long, and like the topic tonight is it's got to get worse before it gets better. And like that always reigns true for me, right? Because like when I got clean, like, and I was addicted to a substance that you got physically sick from. And when I took that away, man, the physical sickness, the mental obsession being crazier than it had ever been, all the physical, the mental, man, like laying in bed at night, dude. I remember like for 90 days I couldn't sleep, and I would just lay in bed at night and my mind would just race and race and race, and it just never stopped, man. And I remember like when I finally laid down one night and I fell asleep and I woke up in the morning and I was like, whoa, I went to sleep last night. And like where all this comes into play is it's got to get worse before it's got to get better. Guys, I don't have a lot of patience, right? That's the truth for me. I often want that miracle pill or situation or solution that is going to allow me to get through what I'm going through without having any pain, without having any consequences.
Keep going, brother.
Yeah, ahead, Drew. And that's not my story, right? Like, so being sometimes like it was so hard for me in the past to be patient, right? It was so hard for me to allow the process to take hold, right? Before things got better. And I never wanted to get past that part that was worse, like, and I'll get into more of that, but like really just coming into recovery, man, like taking away that solution, that comfort, that love. Like, guys, honestly, drugs were the love of my life, man, for a long time, but it was such a sick, toxic relationship, man. Like But it was that love that I just couldn't let go of until I was able to finally make a complete surrender, man. And you know what? Like separating from the drugs, it had to get worse before it got better.
Absolutely, brother. Wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm going to talk about from a perspective from a parent. I know that you can't speak from that, but I'm going to speak. You guys know how huge, how important my children are to me today. I remember the day vividly, brother, when they took my children away from me because of the choices that I'd made in my active addiction. I neglected my children. I've said it time and time and time again, and something I'm not proud of. But I neglected my children in active addiction, and I always put my drugs in front of my kids. And for those alone, the court saw fit to take my kids from me, and it was the worst time of my entire life. And then it sunk me even deeper and deeper into my active addiction, and it got worse. It got worse. My addiction got worse because I started feeling even more sorry for myself because of the pathetic father that I had become. Absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with the statement and the topic of this discussion tonight. It's got to get worse before it gets better. Okay, it got a lot worse. It got a lot worse. But along the way, eventually, I decided to make that bold and courageous move into recovery, and in doing so, I started tapping into feelings and emotions that I had neglected and masked for so many years. Feelings that I didn't want to feel, feelings that I didn't want to even remember. The trauma, the being a victim, and all that stuff. That big ball of emotions that none of us want to truly ever deal with, even in recovery. To say that it gets worse before it gets better is an understatement. But only when I found my way to recovery was ever going to be willing to get my situation any better than what it was. If I had not made that move, if I had kept myself stuck where I was at, realistically, I probably would never have gotten my kids back. They would have been lost in the system. I would have not followed through with all the court classes and all the obligations and stuff that the courts wanted me to do when it comes to CPS and all the drug testing and everything involved and all that. I would have blew it all off because my drugs were always more important than my children. They were. Are they today? Hell no. They're the most important people in my life, because when I eliminate the drugs and alcohol from my body and I implement a higher power for me, none other than God in my life, and I have a program, a 12-step program in my life with spiritual principles that back it, I have been able to discover this man, and this man loves his children. And you know what? That's my perspective coming from a father, because I know so many of you who watch me, who watch their parents, and I did a video last night with Catherine, Derek, about guilt. A lot of the parents who bring in the guilt from how they treated their children in active addiction, I'm no different. I'm you guys. I'm one of you. And I'm an addict through and through. And I had to get myself worse before I even got myself better.
Mm-hmm. Drew, I don't know if it's the headphones, but sometimes when you talk, the volume drops real low. I don't know if it's them or not, but it could be. Just letting you know that's going on. You know what, guys? I'm not a parent, so I can't really speak from that. I don't have that experience. I didn't have kids. I don't have kids. Not that I know of, anyway. That's so I don't have that kind of experience. But something that when Drew was sharing that, like came through to me. Is it real loud now, Drew?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it sounds like the volume's coming through.
Sounds fine to me. Ask everybody who's watching. Can you guys hear us fine?
How are we sounding, guys? Now it's all right. It seemed like it went away. So you know what? Like when Drew was talking about that, man, something that listen, when I got clean, I kind of felt like I should have everything back right away. I should have the job, the money, the car. I should have all of these things back right away, right? And I don't know if it still is. Try to put them on again, Drew. I don't know. So I wanted to like have all of these things, but like something that like always reigns true for me is I didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, easy does it, right? And that's kind of like from the fellowship that I rock with, man. And you know what? Like I have to look a lot of times at like I didn't destroy my life overnight.
No.
So I can't expect to have everything that I want right away. You know what I'm saying? So I they're saying there's an echo. Is it still echoing, guys? I can hear other people in the background. There is nobody else in the background.
There is nobody else in the
Not
background.
better now. All right. So you know what, man? Like looking at that, man, and you know what, guys? Honestly, I wanted what I wanted all the time, and that got needles in my arm, crack pipes in my mouth, alcohol in my body, and I had to really like look at that, right? And like, you know what, guys, my first like 6 months clean, I was broke as a joke. Yo, I was so broke, right? And I had no money. I was on like a little bit of food stamps, and you know what, like a lot of people, man, in recovery they would take me out and they would like buy me food, man. And like, I had never lived that broke, even when I was using at the end of the road because, I was a hustler. Um, I was a hustler, right? So I had never been that broke, man. And so it was a very humbling experience to not have money and to allow people to help me out, man. Like when we would all go out to eat after a meeting and people would say, "You don't have money, don't worry about it. I got you." That kind of stuff is like it's got to get worse before it gets better, but honestly, it taught me a lot of humility. It started to like allow me to start to accept help and those kinds of things, man. And I wanted a job, right? So bad, man. I wanted a job so bad. And I remember, like, guys, I've been a plumber since I was like 18. That's a family trade that a lot of my family has. I'm fourth generation, right? But I had a lot of fear about doing plumbing again. So I didn't try to go into my career field, right? And so, like, I was applying for jobs at like the car wash, a hardware store. Like, I was applying for jobs that I had never like even had in my life, right? And I wasn't getting them. And it really like my self-worth was very, very low and I was beating myself up. I was tired of being broke. I'd gotten a little girlfriend and she was driving me around and like it did a lot to my self-worth, right? But how this ties into the topic for me was at 6 months cleaner, I guess it was around 5 months clean. um, I got a plumbing job, and it was the guy in the fellowship, and he gave me this job, and I got my confidence back. I got my tools back, right? I started to learn how to work again, and it hit me, right? It was like, Derek, things are happening in God's time and not your time. I
Amen.
don't know that I would have been prepared to handle these jobs where I was in my process, right? But but I wanted it so bad, but I just kept praying. I just kept staying in position and I got the job, man. And you know what? A couple months later, I got fired by a dude in recovery. I got fired, man. Like, by a dude in recovery. And now to this day, I can't say that I should have got fired. I don't believe I should have, but I did, right? And 2 weeks later, I got the job that I had the rest of the time that I was in California, man. And it was like a gift wrapped in shit, Drew.
Oh
You
my
know what
God.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And you know what? It was all good because I was patient. I didn't panic. I didn't give up. I didn't say, what? Because this is the craziest shit about addicts, right, Drew? Oh my God, I lost my job. I'm in my feelings. I'm going to go get high.
Amen. Yeah.
The worst time to go get high when you lose your job, right?
Right.
That's what we do. So I mean,
Right.
I'm just throwing some of my experiences out there, you know.
I'm gonna throw. You can hear me, can't you, brother? I'm gonna throw this out there. This is where I believe that it gets. The reason why I believe that it gets worse before it gets better is because there's something involved that every addict and alcoholic doesn't want to deal with. Feelings.
Huh.
Feelings. You've heard me say time and time and time again, the best thing about coming into recovery is we get to feel again. But the worst thing about coming into recovery is we get to feel again. Okay? It's those feelings. And if you were neglecting dealing and handling those feelings, you will not find the bright light at the end of the tunnel. You'll keep yourself stuck. Okay? You'll keep yourself exactly where you're at. Each and every one of our goals, I do believe, I can speak for all of you beautiful people watching me tonight, is that we want to get better. We want to know how to learn how to deal with situations with not running back to a drink or drug to get through it. Okay? Like Derek, for example, used. The worst time for anybody ever to go get high is when they get fired and lose their job. Why? One, this disease. Two, now you're broke. You definitely can't afford to go get high. And there's a lot of reasons. As an addict, we overcomplicate things to the point where we almost, and I don't know about Derek, but I'll speak for myself, can get delusional in our thinking. We can get delusional. I mean, I'll speak for Derek. He does. Yes, he does.
Storytelling time.
I mean, just saying. But anyways, the reason why it gets worse is why we feel it gets worse is because the feelings involved in the situation that we're dealing with. We don't want to feel. I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to feel struggle. I don't want to feel adversity. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to do anything. I want to, I believe that this pink cloud in recovery was exactly what it was going to be 24/7, 365 days a year, and it was for the first 6 days. And then I hit a roadblock, and then I just basically white knuckled it the first 60 days of me being clean until my sponsor came into my life and showed me that, what, it's not always fluffy bunnies and rainbows. It's not always that pink cloud. Living life on life's terms, a majority of time, let's call it like it is, sucks. Mm-hmm. And whether you've struggled with the disease of addiction or not, nobody likes to go through trying times and tribulation times in their life, but it's a necessity especially for people like you and I who are in recovery, trying to build on a solid foundation, trying to learn and figure out what kind of people we are, who we are as people, and discovering, that, yeah, it did get worse before it got better, but it did get better.
Right. And that's the thing, Drew, is sometimes, and it plays into that patience piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, for so long, when I stuck a needle in my arm and I fired it up, that was instant gratification, right? But instant gratification damn near killed me, right? Instant gratification left me spiritually bankrupt. Me running from my feelings all the time damn near killed me, right? And even getting into recovery, right? And then being in the recovery process, working a fourth and fifth step, man. Guys, my fourth and fifth step was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable, man. Writing for was not fun, right? Sharing it was the worst, right? I share it with my sponsor, right? And I swear, I felt like I was running around San Diego butt ass naked for a month, dude. I was uncomfortable. I was angry. And I didn't even know why. That was the hardest part about it, was I didn't even understand why I was feeling like that. And this rolls into the topic. It's got to get worse before it gets better. Guys, working a fourth and fifth step was uncomfortable. And if you're not sure what a fourth step is, it's a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself, right? And the fifth step is sharing it with God, myself, and another human being. And so, bringing all of the dirt from my life, man, to light was not comfortable. Facing all of these things was not comfortable. Facing the trauma, the sexual shit when I was a kid, man, all the resentments that I had, all the sexual behavior I had clean was not comfortable at all. But there's hope. That's the part that I forgot a lot of times. But there's hope. See, in doing this, right? And I've seen somebody just say courage, right?
Right.
In having the courage to put all these things on paper and allowing myself to get free, even though it wasn't immediately, right? But after a month had gone by, I had gotten freedom because I stayed in the process. I was patient, right? I just kept plugging along, and the miracle happened to where like the chains were pulled off of me, and now I was free, man. And I faced these things all along the process of working the 12 steps, The same thing with the six step. I don't know about you, Drew, but the hardest thing about the six step for me was how I was living when I was on it.
Right, right, right.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
talking about all the control, all the hoeing, all these things that I just kept doing was so painful. But when I worked that six step, guess what happened? It said, what spiritual principle can you put into place as opposed to acting out on this defect? And self acceptance came to light.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to get worse before it gets better.
That's right, brother. I'm going to talk a little bit about the getting better part. I think we all know about how worse our life can get, and how worse our active addiction can get, and how worse early recovery can get. I want to throw a hope shot out and talk about the get better part. Okay, it does get better, and in order for it to get better, we have to go through things, and we have to deal with things. And in vulnerability, you hear me talk about it. You hear Derek talk about it a lot. Vulnerability is a necessity in getting better when it comes to things worse in your life and trying to build and get yourself in a better position. You're going to have to do some things that your addict mind or even your mind in itself is telling you, don't do that. You don't want that. What you want to do is sit over here on your couch or wherever you may be in your little comfort zone, in your self-pity, not pushing forward, telling yourself and telling others, yeah, I'm going to get vulnerable, but never following through. Today, we're all about following through. Our actions will always and forever speak louder than words. And so today, I'm talking about the get better part. When I say this, your life will get better if you're willing to get vulnerable. If you're willing to tap into those feelings, emotions that you just don't want to deal with, that you want to kind of put on the back burner and just handle it later. Procrastination is your worst enemy. Putting off tomorrow what you could do today is a killer, because tomorrow sometimes never comes, and tomorrow, is not promised to anybody who's watching this video tonight. We got to handle our business today. We got to handle our business right now. The time is now. There's the days of sitting on our ass and on our hands and doing nothing about our life and just feeling sorry for ourselves. Those days are long gone. It's all about elevation. It's all about elimination, because we all got to eliminate a lot of things in our life, whether it be people, whether it be old behaviors, whether it be character defects, whatever it may be. We got to eliminate before we can elevate. You know what? And yeah, it does get better.
Guys, I want to ask look, I want to just throw this out there. How many of all of you guys ever been in a sick, toxic relationship? And it doesn't have to be romantic, right? It could be with family. It could be anything, right? Family, coworkers, friends, romantic, right? But how many people have been in a toxic relationship, right? And the reason I'm throwing this out there is because, look, man, a little over a year ago, I had gotten into a romantic relationship. This relationship was so sick and was so toxic, it drained the life out of me. I mean, like, brother, I'm talking about I looked sick. You would have thought I was using, right? This relationship was just draining emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It just had me twisted, right? But I learned something in this relationship. I have a level of codependency. And I used to say that she was codependent, and that was the problem, right? And then I realized, well, listen here, you sick kid, right? Listen here, sicko. You're saying how crazy she is, but you're not leaving. Well, damn. Maybe I got some stuff to look at, right?
Right.
And like, you know what, man? Like, see, sometimes what I'll do, Drew, in relationships is I'll check out emotionally, but I'll stay physically because I'm codependent, right?
Right.
I've been in relationships where I felt alone in the relationship, but I said, my mind told me it's better to feel alone but have them there physically than it would actually be to be alone,
Right.
right? And so, where this comes into play is finally I left that sick, toxic relationship, right? I had packed my things 3 times. 2 times I put them by the door and I unpacked them. That was my codependency. The third time I finally said, man, if you love yourself, you'll put that shit in your car and you'll get out of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It was super uncomfortable. My feelings were hurt. I felt the loneliness, man. Even though it was so sick and I didn't want to do it, but I still felt a lot of feelings. But guess what? Finally, when I made it through the feelings, I was free. I started to find myself again, right? My spirit started to come back. My mental sanity started to come back, right? All these things started to happen. And sometimes, man, it's just so hard. And it goes back to using the first part is abstinence, man. And then dealing with the feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Drew, like, I was scared, man. Like, and in a lot of romantic relationships in my whole life, I was scared that I was going to be alone forever. So if I leave, then what? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of having faith and trust and hope and all these things, man, I was scared that I would never find somebody and I would live alone for the rest of my life. So I would stay in insanity and I would stay in pain, right? But finally, when I started to make these changes, did it get better right away? No, because you said the word earlier, feelings,
Mm-hmm.
the fear, the insecurities, the self centeredness, right? The I'm not good enough, my self worth. It all starts to come into here and in my heart. And now I've got that hole again. And guess what? It got worse, but it damn sure got better, guys. Because
Mm-hmm.
guess what? I'm still sitting here clean today. I'm embarking on this new relationship, right? It's like, where'd this come from? Man, when I get out of my own way, who knows what could happen? You know what?
Amen.
But like, I don't know. You ever been in a toxic relationship where leaving it got worse, but it got better?
Oh my God, brother,
I don't think I'm the only one.
you already know. I mean, you already know. We talked about this before we started this video. Absolutely, I don't think there's any person on this video who hasn't experienced that kind of relationship at least once or 10 times in their life. You know, to briefly remind everybody, just look up here at the topic of this discussion. It's got to get worse before it gets better. What is that first word that comes to your mind when I think of that? Well, I'll tell you what comes to mind is that screams process to me. That's a process, okay? And let me tell you something. Let me remind all you beautiful people. You will be self-sabotaging yourself if you think that you can't deal with the bad and in order to get to the good. Okay, that is the process. Getting through the rough stuff in order to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't self-sabotage your brain thinking that you can skip the bad and jump over here in the good, because what have you done? Okay, when we don't deal with our stuff, it comes back. It doesn't just magically disappear. It subsides in our brain. We put it down there again. Eventually, if we don't handle and deal with those hardships, excuse me, or those feelings that we deal with, they will come back, and more often than not, they come back with a vengeance. They come back with more pain behind it. So don't think, you guys, that you can get past this process. And this is exactly what this is. This is a process, and in order for us to get through and get to the good, it's got to get worse. We got to deal with all those feelings and emotions that we don't want to deal with. It's a process, and everybody in recovery is not exempt from the process.
Absolutely not, brother. And you know what? I like the flow that you're going with, and I like the flow in the comments, man. And you know what, guys? It's very easy for me to point the finger at other people, man. But when I finally got to dig down and look at myself, man, because look, I had a lot of toxic relationships. I had a lot of toxic situationships. Um, a lot of times the common denominator was me, brother. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, I ruined a lot of things in my life, right? And I tried to play the blame game, but most of the time, man, it was me, right? So, um, guys, through this topic of it's got to get worse before it's got to get better. It's super important that, like, I started to identify I have codependency issues. I started to identify that loneliness is a really hard feeling for me to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I had to identify that I sought validation through sexual behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
I sought validation through wearing masks, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, with people around me, right? And so, really, man, like once I identify these things, now I could start doing the work
Yeah.
that it takes to be better,
Right.
right? Because I can identify, but you know what I'm saying? And real quick, Drew, I want to give a shout out, man. My uncle is on here, man. He just got out again, man. I love my uncle to death, brother. He's somebody I looked up to a lot as a kid, and even as an adult, man. And he jumped on here with us, and I just got a lot of love for my uncle, man. And you know what, Uncle Eric, I love you, man. If you guys could throw the hearts up, man, for my uncle. It's just a blessing, man, to have him in the process with me. We got the video chat last night, and
Absolutely.
he was going through some stuff, right? He just got out, he went into a program, all his stuff got stolen, and it's like, hey, man, check it out. We'll be able to build that stuff back up, just stay in the process, man. So I'm just grateful to have you on here, man, my Uncle Eric. And you know what, Drew, I'm looking forward to you and the fellas, man, reaching out to him and showing
Absolutely.
love and all that, man. So
Absolutely. And I'm going to say something. Eric, brother, I'll be reaching out to you here soon. You know, you got, of course, you got your nephew Derek, but you know what? If Derek hasn't told you about me, Derek and I are really close, brother, and I have no problem helping you along your way, getting you back on your feet, get you solid. If you're anything like your nephew, brother, I'm solid. We're just we're gonna build from here.
absolutely, man. So I just wanted to give him a shout out and thank you, Drew.
Hmm.
Thank you, everybody, for shooting the love up in the comments, man. I really, really appreciate that, guys. Like, you know what, man, and I'll throw this out there, man. Like, we're talking about relationships, and I got a little cousin, and she's a girl, right? Um, she's in the process of recovery too, and it was so painful watching her go through her process, man. It was so painful watching her go through it. But I had to learn that I'm not God. I had to learn that she has to go through her process and things have to get worse for her before they get better, man. And
Right.
sometimes, man, it's hard to deal with my own shit that's got to get worse before it gets better.
Hmm.
But to be there for other people in their process, Drew, like, again, that level of codependency, right? And you know what? I allowed her to have her process. It got way worse, but guess what? She's been clean coming up on 3 years now. She's
Yeah.
one of my best friends in the whole world, right? And so, like, even dealing with other people, in the process, man, it's like it's so hard, Drew, to watch other people's process get worse before it gets better. And real quick, I want to say what's up to my boy Carl Fry.
I
Seen
see
him
him.
jump on here. I love you, boy. You already know, my man. All day, Drew feels the same way, guys. If you don't know, check out Inspirational Freestyle Recovery Flow, man. And our boy Carl Fry, man, his passion is touching a lot of lives, man, in every area that he's involved in.
What's up, Carl? Love you, brother. You already know. I think he called me earlier and I missed his call or something, but anyway, I think everybody who watches knows how close that Derek and I are. Carl. We love his heart. We love his passion. We love his. I mean, I just love everything about Carl. He's a foundation of love, man. He just loves people, and he's passionate about doing it. And I'm a supporter of anybody who's willing to be like that. Derek, we've done a few videos together, you know, and this video, you know, I'm thinking as you're talking, is that, you know, there's been so many times in my life, you know, not only just in my active addiction, but in my recovery as well, where I wanted to neglect in thinking that that it could get any worse. Okay, I didn't want to think that it was going to get any worse, because that's all I've ever experienced in my life was the worst part. Okay, I came into recovery, you know, and I was getting a little discouraged with recovery because I believed I kind of screwed myself. The expectations that I set when it came to recovery really screwed me up. I believed that I came over here, finally made this transition, and that everything would be great. Okay, everything. I wasn't going to deal with any bullshit. I wasn't going to deal with all that crap that I had to deal with in active addiction. And let me tell you, the first 6 months of my life was every bit as bad in my heart, in my mind, as my active addiction. It truly was. I mean, brother, it beat me to my knees. My early recovery beat me to my knees. If you find yourself, guys, in that early recovery feeling the same way that I've just explained to you guys, I have been there myself. I have been there, and I'm sure Derek has experienced that a lot in his early recovery as well. You know, it's the process. We all have to go through it. We can't get around it. Okay? And it's that big F word. And I'm not talking about the middle finger. I'm talking about the feelings that we talked about earlier. Feelings. You know, we don't want to do it. We go and we will fight tooth and nail in order to avoid it. We got to do it, man. It's part. You got to do it. You may not want to. There's a lot of things you're going to figure out in recovery that you're going to have to do, even though you don't want to. You know, and I could say there's been so many things in my recovery that I've had to follow through because of my sponsor's guidance and the direction he's told me I needed to take my life. And I'm like, pump the brakes. I don't want to do that. I'm pumping the brakes. I'm not doing all that, you know, but, you know, with his pushing and with God, you know, and the Fellowship of Recovery, the 12-step program that I work in my life, you know, I was able to follow through with the commitment that I made on February 26th, 2016, that, you know what, I was going to do and be willing to do whatever it takes to make recovery work for my life. And you know what, so far, knock on wood, I'm doing okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, the crazy part is, Drew, is we're doing better than we think most of the time.
I know.
You know
I know.
You talked earlier about that storytelling time, man. And storytelling time will have me thinking my life is rough. Right?
I know.
And you know what, man, guys, honestly, thinking about early recovery, my first 3 months I was probably just in a pretty big haze. Still. But after that, man, recovery had become fun until I had 6 months clean. I started to learn that like drugs weren't the problem, that I was. You know, I cheated on a girl with 6 months clean. I had never done anything like that clean. I remember calling my sponsor and being like, yo, I never did nothing like this clean before. And he was like, okay, well, here's an example. Drugs aren't the problem. You are, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And a lot of my issues, man, in recovery have been like self-inflicted, you know?
Right. Definitely.
But then I've experienced some things. I mean, look, man, in 2019, I lost 3 grandparents, you know? A lot of pain there, a lot of grief, you know? Right before I celebrated 5 years clean, man, a lot of suicidal thinking, man, like clean, like with 12 steps, with 12 traditions, um, and like, you know what? Like, recovery hasn't made me feel good all the time. Recovery has afforded me the opportunity to learn how to deal with my feelings, period.
Right.
See, I thought, man, that once I get clean, like you said, everything is going to be great and I'm going to feel good. And that's not reality for me, man. Like, I don't always feel good, but I've learned and I'm learning how to deal with my feelings, period. Excuse me. So I think that's the biggest part in recovery, you know, Drew. And like, you know, with the getting better part, guys, is like, listen, I talk a lot about the struggle, but the most beautiful thing in the world is I woke up this morning and I didn't have to use. The beautiful thing is, chances are really, 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 really good that I'm going to go to bed tonight clean. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Listen, as long as I stay clean, I got a shot at this thing, man. Like, I'm just, the one thing that I'm just so grateful for, man, the most is the willingness to stay clean and do the work that it takes to stay clean. Because, God, listen, if staying clean was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Amen.
Listen, if recovery was for everybody that needed it, rooms across the world would be filled from wall to wall. But that's just not the case. Recovery is for people that want it, man. You know what I'm saying? And listen, when I got clean, I didn't want to stay clean. I wanted to stop feeling the way I was feeling.
Right.
And I knew that if I changed that, I probably had to stop using, you know?
Absolutely, brother. It's a makeover, brother. I've realized that, I've had to, when I came into recovery, I was given this opportunity, for the first time, this opportunity has been presented to me because 42 years old, this is the first time that I've tried recovery. Okay. Relapse is not part of my story, knock on wood. And, with God and his saving grace and the 12-step program, it will never be part of my story. And so when I came into recovery at 42, I'm given this opportunity for the first time, after a 25-year active addiction of just using my body as a pincushion over and over and over religiously every day, collapsed veins all through both my arms and my neck, just that low bottom feeling of, the feeling, guys, when we get to that point, we're just disgusted with the kind of person we are. We don't know if we necessarily want to die, but we know we don't want to live. Okay. That's the, I had forecasted I was going to be that addict, that I was going to die with a needle in my arm somewhere, whether it be in a bathroom in a restaurant somewhere, whether it be in my own home and my children walk in and find me. I just knew that I was going to die somewhere with a needle in my arm. I had forecasted that. I believed in my heart and soul that was the way that I was going to go. Okay. I didn't believe that I was ever going to be an addict who was going to be lucky enough to get to experience what an addict in recovery is getting to experience. I learned, most importantly, that I have always been the problem. The drugs were a symptom to my disease, but it was Drew that was the problem. I had to learn, like Derek said it earlier, and I've said numerous times before in other videos, how to learn how to get out of my way. I have self-sabotaged myself more than anybody that I know on this earth. I would be doing just fine, and I would deliberately do something to sabotage my life because I felt comfortable, as sickening as this may sound, in that destruction, in that despair. That's all I knew. That's all I knew how to live, whether it was bad or not. I didn't feel right if I wasn't struggling, until the day came when I wasn't. Until I got that light, that light at the end of the tunnel, until that light finally showed on me and I felt it through and through every pore in my body, that this is the life I've always wanted. This is that better life that people had always talked about, life I'd always heard about. I am now able and willing to get out of my way and to push through the fear that I had to push through in order to obtain this life. It doesn't come knocking at your door and just given to you. There's work involved, a lot of work. There's a lot of pain and struggle involved in getting yourself to where it is that you need to get to. But if you trust this process, and if you trust, the guidance of the sponsor and the God that you have in life, I promise you, your life will get better, and recovery will show up and show out.
You know what, man? I'm seeing a lot of ages getting thrown in the comments, man. And you know what, guys? You know what I absolutely love about recovery is it's never too soon and it's never too
Too
late.
late. Amen.
For us to get clean and change our lives, man. And I love that in recovery we don't identify with drugs, we identify with feelings.
That's right.
We don't sometimes we identify with each other's stories, but at the end of the day, man, when we reach that desperation, we all felt the same. Desperate, deep, broken, right? And you know what I love about this topic, and I seen somebody write in the comments like, guys, me and Drew are not special. We are just Derek, and we're just Drew, and we're just another addict trying to stay clean just for today,
That's
right?
right.
The beautiful thing about recovery is that all the pain that we've gone through, all the hurt, all the uncomfortable situations, all the abuse, man, just whatever we've gone through in our lives, now we have the opportunity to be of service to another human being through that experience, man.
That's it.
Like, I wouldn't, guys, I've been through some painful stuff clean. I've been through painful stuff using, right? But now I have a life experience, man. When you guys write in the comments, yo, I'm going through this, now I have shared experience, man.
Yeah.
Like, we all went through active addiction and now we're in recovery clean. And if you're not clean yet, I want you to know we love you.
Yeah.
I want you to know that there is hope, man. I come on here and I do these live feeds, man, to share a message of hope, right? That's what this is about. It ain't about recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, like, it's not about validation. Does it feel good? Yeah, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, man, my heart gets up and ready to go because I care about the addict that still suffers, man. That's where my heart is at because I know the pain and I still haven't forgotten the pain. Somebody told me real early on in recovery, they say, D, if you don't remember your last day using, chances are it ain't your last day using. And it wasn't the crack I smoked and where I smoked it and who I smoked it with that I remember. It was the way I felt that last day using, and I've never forgot that. So for
Mm-mm.
anybody that's still using, I can still identify because I've never forgotten that pain, man.
Ever.
And my heart is with each and every one of you. My heart is with the ones that might be smoking crack while they're watching this live feed or drinking a bottle while they're watching this live feed. If that happens to be you and you're watching, I want you to know I love you. There is hope, and you don't have to live that way no more, even if you want to, man.
Amen to that, brother. You know, and I probably can guess, there might be some people who still in their active addiction who tune in and watch us every Tuesdays and Thursdays, brother. And if there is, let me chime in. My part right here is when I say that if you're out there still struggling with this disease, it's still got a stranglehold on your life, and you found yourself in a situation or you're in a circumstance right now where you're just so broken, just so beat down, and just so just disgusted with the kind of person that you have become, you know, like Derek said, and I'll say it too, there is hope. And as long as you have air in your lungs, there will always be hope. You know, you're still breathing. You're still on this earth today. You're not in the ground. You're not buried. You're not dead. You still have a heartbeat. You still have blood pumping through your veins. There is a shot. You have a chance. You can make this work for your life, but it's going to cost you some things. It's not free. It's freely given to me, but I'm not talking that it costs you financially, but it's going to cost you the life that you're living now. It's going to cost you those friends that you think that are your friends today that aren't. All they want to do is use you and manipulate you and get high on your dope and all those. It's going to cost you that. It's going to cost you all the people, places, and things that you have going on in your life right now. It's going to cost you all this thing, but in return, what it gives you, man, there's not enough words in the dictionary to describe the amazing feeling that recovery has given to me. This junkie, this bottom feeding junkie who ever wanted to do was manipulate you, lie to you, deceive you, cheat you, rob you, steal from you. Just everything bad. That was me. I have been giving a newfound perspective on life because of recovery. I've been given a newfound perspective on love because of recovery. If not for recovery, I would have never loved the way that I love today. You know what? And I love the fact that I get to feel this way and that I get to love people the way that I do. It makes me feel whole. It makes me feel alive. I've never felt more alive in my life being the man that I am today. You guys are all amazing and you're all worth this life. Every single one of you watching on this video tonight are worth this life. You're worth it. And Derek and I, we both love you.
Absolutely, man. And you know what, guys? Somebody commented, "Hope, hold on, pain ends," and that's the truth, man. Whether you're still using, man, if you are, please reach out. Please, please, please reach out, man. There's a lot of resources to get the ball rolling, right? And if you're fresh in recovery, hold on. Don't look. One of my favorite things, man. Look, my guy from Vegas used to tell me all the time. He would say, "D, don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle happens."
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing is, the miracle keeps happening.
Amen.
What that tells me is, don't ever leave, right? Just stay in the process, man. And you know what? If you got some time on here, man, clean, and you're going through some things, hold on, reach out. We do together what we could never do alone, man. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going through something alone, that's because you're choosing to. There's hundreds of people that just on this live feed that I know got hearts of gold, man, that would gladly talk or help get into the solution, man. And mine and Drew's lines are always open, guys. So I'm grateful, man. My spirit is on fire. You guys have helped me stay clean for another hour. Um, I'm fired up right now, man. And you know what? You guys do this for me. I think I'm doing something for y'all coming on here and sharing a message, but God is working through you guys, man, and it's impacting my life every single minute, every hour. I just love all of you guys, man. And seriously, like I can't express enough how much I love you guys. And you know what? Again, man, if you guys can make sure you smash that heart button, make sure you share the love, get your watch parties rolling, man. There's somebody out there right now that is feeling like they just want to die that needs to hear a message of hope, man. So if you guys could do that, man, I really appreciate you playing your part. And we got some cool things coming out, guys. Me and Drew we're stepping the game up and we're gonna do some things, man. And we want to put some stuff out there for you guys to enjoy. And you know what, Drew? I love you, brother, man. As always, man. There's a lot of people in here. Um, my heart is full of love tonight.
Amen. That's
All
what it's up.
because of my people. And you know what, man? Like we say it a lot. I don't know what addict looks like, but I know what addict
What it
feels like.
feels like. Amen.
I hope you all have a blessed night. I'm gonna jump off, let Drew do his thing, say his goodbyes. If there's any more announcements, man, I just love all of you, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Love you, brother. Well, there's another video with Derek and I. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, Derek and I, we try to come out here every Tuesday and Thursday and carry a message of hope and love. The topic of this discussion, it's a rough one, guys. In every area of our life, things get worse before things get better. It's that process that we all, whether we want to deal with it or not, we have to. Okay, we can't get around it. We're gonna have to deal, and like I said earlier, we have a problem dealing with it is because we got to feel through it, and we don't want to feel through it. Recovery gives you the ability in dealing with feelings, whether they may be good or bad, and being able to push forward and push and elevate yourself and the position in your life today. I appreciate all of you guys every bit. As like Derek just said, I couldn't say it any better. You guys fill my cup. I give you guys a lot of the overflow from my cup, but you guys give it back to me in return, and I love you for it. There's not enough words in a Webster's dictionary for me to describe the feelings that you guys give me each and every time I come out here and do a live video for you guys. I know, today what my purpose in life is today. I know. Okay. But what you guys give me because of me doing this and following through what God wants me to do, you guys fill me up, man. You guys bless me. And what you guys give me, I can't express into words. I absolutely love you all so much. I am here. My line is open 24 hours a day. If you need me, you can message me through this page. And you could call me. My number's probably been through there a couple times because of Tori. You could call me, text me, message me. If you need help, please reach out. Please reach out. I am here for each and every one of you, and I love you all so very much. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:15. I love you all so very much. Let me give some shout outs and get you guys on your way. Renee Cooper, I love you. Kathy Marie, thank you for being here. Amber Goings, I love you. Amanda Cruz, thank you for being here tonight, sister. I love you. Mary, let's say Mary Mayer, love you too. Tori Rouse, you know I love you. Catherine Lance, I definitely love you. Is Joseph on here too? Joseph, my little brother, I love you. George Hunter, thank you for being here, brother. I love you. Let me see. Scroll down to this feed. Joni Faulkner, have a great night. Connie Rice, thank you for being here. Please let Derek and I know in the comment section how you guys felt about tonight's video. We love getting your feedback. Anything you guys want us to talk about, how you felt about tonight's video. We love getting all that feedback. Just let us know in the comments, and we'll check it out, and we'll just try to do better, next time. Amber Goings, good to see you. Love you. Susan Kaiser, love you. Stacy Ann, love you. Derek Diem, hey Derek, I know who you are. Also, don't forget to go hit the like button on Love Back. Oh yeah, if you haven't already, go over there and follow and like my brother's page, Love Back to Life Recovery. He just put it in the feed. It's called Love OVED Back to Life Recovery. Go over and like and follow his page. As you guys see, he comes on here every Tuesdays and Thursdays on my page. So yeah, go over and follow him. He's an amazing man. I love him to death. He's my brother. Some people you just know be part of your life for the rest of your life. He's one of those people for me. I love you all very much, and I will be back on tomorrow morning. Like I said, Dean Stanley, what's going on, brother? Kim Thorpe, Don Erickson. Let's see, Shirley Casaisis. I will see you soon, Shirley. Shirley is one of those beautiful people that I finally get to meet Saturday when I go down to Colorado to speak. Looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. Let's see here. Do me a favor, guys. Let's share this video out. Somebody tonight needs to hear this message of hope. Sharing is caring. We all got a part to play. Let's create some awareness. Let's help some people. I love you guys all dearly. I love you. You guys are amazing. I'm just trying to read the comments too. I'm a simple-minded person, can't speak and read comments at the same time. So I just love seeing all this amazing stuff that you say to me. You guys are beautiful. And I can speak for Derek when I say that we love you. We appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning. With all that being said, I love you. You already know. Clean and sober. That's what's up.